Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is the last week of the season, this is my usual seasonal podcast. I was gonna do one last week, but then on the day I was supposed to record, I got sick, and then I got tied up with work, so unfortunately, I didn't get to end up getting to do it last week. And then basically I decided to wait because I was like, well, all the shows are ending anyway, so why don't I just wait until the why don't I wait until most of them are over? A couple of them are still good. Sorry, I paused a lot. I'm sorry about that. The Mahosuke Remiki has one more week, but I don't really care because it's just. We'll get to that, but I have no interest in that show going forward, so I don't really care. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is still going, and at least that show has a plot now, but nothing else of interest has happened in that show, so we're just going to skip over that show for now. But before we get started, I completely forgot about Tomodachi Game last week, and basically the game is over. The game 3. What is it for? Anyway, that game is over, and now they're kind of taking a break and going back to the real world. And the way it ends is kind of anticlimactic. They end with Kokorogi, who I still don't trust, and from what I've read, she's not entirely innocent but she gets kidnapped by this guy who's pretending to be part of the game. I don't know. I don't really care. I do find it interesting that the next game is not going to involve Yuichi at all, or at least it doesn't seem like it's going to involve Yuichi at all. So maybe there's looking forward to that going into the next season because it ends on a cliffhanger, so there will be probably another season. But other than that, it kind of ends. It's not. Up until this point, the show's been really, really, really good, and I'm so disappointed about this because I hope it can pick its stride back up because I don't hate it, but. Speaking of shows that are going to probably get another season, Dance Dance Interior ends pretty much where we kind of think it's going to be, in that Luo's out of his room, Junpei Junpei has his scholarship to Russia, and I'm just sitting there going, I don't know what else they can do with it. Like, maybe they can do something with his family. I don't know. I have a feeling it's not done, but at this point, I'm not really sure because there's not a lot else they can do with this story. Because they've kind of boxed themselves into the corner because they've ended it. Well, they can do stuff with Misaki because they haven't done anything with Misaki yet. So that's something that they can do that basically. But moving on to the actual bag, Greatest Demon Lord ends, like I said, it ends the same way. It ends with them going and they beat the Demon Lord, and it turns out the Demon Lord is actually him from like a parallel timeline, which I admit I was not expecting. I think it's weird, but I at least give them credit for not going in the direction of like Demon Lord is actually Lydia or some shit, which I thought they were gonna do. But they beat him, and then that's kind of it. And I don't really know what they were aiming for. Like, I don't know what the point was. It's an okay show. It's not great. Although, when we get to the superlatives, this show has the best opening. Like, I'm not even kidding you, because I'm gonna also do anime superlatives. But this show has the best opening, hands down, and there's that to look forward to. What else is there? The next one in the bag is, oh shit, I dropped it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush we're skipping over because that show, it's not really, it has a plot, but it's kind of not really going anywhere. The next one is Data Life 4. So, Data Life 4 basically ends with the announcement that there's going to be a Data Life 5, which I'm not surprised at because they're still going. And basically at this point, he's kind of dated and procured all the spirits. I like the fact that Kurumi is not necessarily a bad person, and she wants to, and we do find out that she wants to kill the original spirit not because of her, but because she keeps killing Shido over and over again. And I think that's kind of nice because, that it's not because of her, it's because she's trying to prevent him from dying. And that scene with his head is just really creepy. That was really off-putting. But anyway, my point is that it, and she sends, and when she seals him, when she's basically sealed her power, and I thought that was a neat way to deal with that, because she can't seal her power or just stray for it like everybody else. So when she kissed him in the past, that sealed her power, and now we're actually getting to Blatt, which I truly appreciate, because so far, like I said, this whole season has just been dates. And so hopefully season 5 will be more plot oriented, because as I said, he's basically dealt with all the spirits at this point, or at least all the spirits. And I know that maybe he might be able to deal with the original spirit, but the original spirit is actually someone they know, so that should be kind of interesting plot wise. And I like the fact that Kurumi, in a way, is kind of being selfless. Like, she truly has feelings for him, and her whole point, she doesn't want him to suffer. So we're not going to necessarily go into detail right now, because like I said, there's an entire season 5 in the works, so that should be something. Next one is, I accidentally pulled out 2. Build Divide Code White. I have absolutely no idea what the fuck this was going for. Like, I legit don't know. It's weird. Like, they beat him, but I still have the lingering feeling that this show is not done, because something about this feels like too neat. And even his name is Naomitsu. I realized that his name is Naomitsu. Something feels wrong. Like, I felt like I was talking to myself when I was talking to him. So maybe they can pump a season 5, season 3 out of it. Anything is possible at this point. So I don't know what the point of them saying that Sakura wasn't coming with them was, when she literally was. So that's another thing. Sakura is still in the human world, but they don't know she's in the human world. So maybe there are bits and pieces that we still need to sort out. So I have a feeling they're leaving it open just in case they decide to do a season 3. But it's just, they beat the villain. That's basically it. I still don't entirely know what the villain's purpose was. But other than that, the show is over. So, it was an okay show. I really like season 1. I just don't necessarily like season 2, because they kind of threw everything at the wall and hoped something stuck, and none of it stuck. But anyway, I also pulled out Summertime Rendering by accident. We've met Mother, which I thought we were going to do previously, but no, we met Mother, and Mother is creepy, and basically they're all trying to run around. They've found this abandoned place where they're doing experiments, and they're trying to figure out what this place is and why it's there. And I don't know her name. Like, one of the characters, I forget her name, she turns out to be involved in it, and I was surprised by that. I was not expecting that. Like, I was expecting her to be a shadow. I was not expecting her to just be involved, maybe she's his sister. I don't know, but anyway, that we're getting kind of towards the halfway point, because I think this show is going to be 24 episodes. So I'm glad this show is being paced well enough that we're getting answers now instead of just waiting till the end. I do think they played their hand a little bit early with the shadows, but at the very least we're consistent plotting. So that's more than I can say for other shows. Anyway, next in the X out of the bag is Shokai Shoujo for... Oh, so I will admit Pandora, or Pandemonium, that was her name, not Pandora. Pandemonium made a very convincing final boss. She was creepy, she was insane. She hinted at, I forget what it was, like she hinted that she wasn't responsible. She hinted that there was more to it than what they thought. And I believe that too, I believe that there's a reason why Akari can't be killed. And I have a feeling we're going to get another season. I have a feeling, like they've hinted that the redhead, whose name I now can't remember, the woman, they've hinted that she's involved in this somehow, and that she knows. So I have a feeling we're going to have to deal with her, because I have a feeling there will be a second season of this show, because we are not even close to done. This show has not given us that many answers. And I'm glad they've avoided going the romance route, not because I don't like gay shipping. I like it very much, but because this show has more important things to deal with. So I'm glad at this point that they haven't gone into that yet. But anyway, it kind of ends on the point where we're no closer to finding out, and we have to move on, because there's no... I have a feeling we're getting a season 2. Mahoutsukai Ramaki, as I said, is not done, but the show is very boring. Nothing has happened. We are getting ready to go into a battle that does not actually matter, that has no actual purpose, and that I literally don't care about. Which is unfortunate, because I wanted to like this show. I liked, like I said, I liked Grimoire of Zero. I thought it was very neat. But unfortunately, this show is just not... Nothing happens. Nothing fucking happens in this show. Like, literally nothing. So, there's I'm struggling with this season, because not a lot happens in this season, and a lot of this feels like it's set up for a season 2 of a lot of these shows. So, if I sound like I'm struggling with this, that's why, because a lot of these shows feel like they're just set up for season 2s. So, most of these shows end on a very basic note of they end exactly where you think they're going to end. And finally, Spy Family. Also, well, Spy Family's more episodic, so when I say that it ends on a very typical note, it's not bad. It's not the kind of thing where you're like, oh, this is so terrible, it ends no closer. Spy Family's barely finished. I have this feeling that the show is still gonna go. And hang on, And I like the fact that the last episode, they literally have Anya playing a spy family. That's really cute. Really cute, especially since she's the only one who knows that Lloyd is a spy. So, I found that kind of precious. I hope to see more of Yuri in the future season, because I know this show at the very fucking least is getting a season 2. There is no way in hell this show of all things is not getting a second season. No, isn't absolutely not. There's no way that this show of all shows is not getting a sequel. Like, no. What else? Is there anything else I can think of? I don't think there's anything else I can... I think that's it for this season. I'm sorry this is so much shorter than usual, but most of these, like I said, most of these shows just end on a very, very typical note, and there's nothing else to talk about. There's something I feel like I'm missing, though. Like, there's a show, oh, yeah, Heron Termono. Oh my god, we got the song. We got, because this show, it's basically an adaptation of the songs. The 2 songs that Inori Minase sings. We got the song, guys. We got the song! And it's, like I said, it's a 3-piece. It's all 3 characters. I am really annoyed that they didn't use the Heroin Raising Project song. Not the other one. I'm really annoyed that they didn't use the other one, but we got the song, and it was really, really good. And I don't know if I'm going to count it as best ending, because it's not the main ending. It's a one-off, but oh my god, we got the song. And I'm so happy, because I've been hoping they'd use that song in that show. I'm genuinely surprised it took so long for them to do it, but I hope the show gets a sequel, because if the show gets a sequel, then we can get the other song, which would be even more awesome, because I want to hear Saori Hayami sing the other song, too. But anyway, that is it for this season. I'm sorry it's a little bit shorter than normal. It's just there's not a lot left to talk about. Most of these shows are sequel bait. If you like this, you can also go and watch me on Odyssey, where I'm going to start doing episodic reviews of shows. Not anime, mind you, but just regular old shows. I also have a podcast called The Media Pit, which should have an episode coming out soon, because it's almost the end of June. And I haven't done one in over a month, and I feel guilty about that. But anyway, that is it for this season. Other than the what's it called? The anime superlatives, which should be the next episode. I will see you in the next season.